You might be wondering how the NIA fits into UPSC questions and why its powers and recent amendments keep popping up in the news. By the end of this short overview, you will be completely clear about what the National Investigation Agency is, what it can and cannot do, and why it matters for your exam. Let's start simply. The NIA was created by the NIA Act 2008 after the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks to give India a strong central agency to tackle terror and related offences. Think of the NIA as a national detective unit set up to handle crimes that threaten the country as a whole, not just one state. Its core mandate is to investigate and prosecute scheduled offences that affect the sovereignty, security, and integrity of India, the security of the state, and friendly relations with other countries. The list also includes attacks on atomic and nuclear facilities and smuggling of high-quality counterfeit Indian currency, among other offences. Importantly, the NIA implements international treaties and works on cases with cross-border links, which is why it can investigate crimes that cross state and national boundaries. Now, what are the goals of the NIA in practical terms? First, the NIA aims to carry out deep professional investigations using modern scientific techniques so cases are strong in court. Second, it must uphold the Constitution and protect human rights while investigating sensitive crimes. Third, the agency focuses on building a skilled workforce through training and exposure to best practices and ensuring speedy, effective trials. Why was a central agency necessary in the first place? Terror incidents often have complex interstate and international links, involving organized crime like arms smuggling, drugs, and fake currency, which local police may not be equipped to fully probe. The NIA fills that gap by providing a central investigative capability that can follow leads across states and borders. How does the NIA get cases, and what does it do after that? Cases are assigned to the NIA by the central government under the Act, and once assigned, the agency conducts investigations independently. After investigation, cases are placed before specially designated NIA special courts for trial, and prosecution often proceeds under the UAPA and other scheduled laws with central sanction where required. A key practical point. NIA officers have the same powers as police officers for investigating these offences anywhere in India. They can also investigate scheduled offences committed outside India, but only subject to international treaties and the domestic laws of the country where the crime occurred. Let's look at the 2019 amendment because it often appears in UPSC questions. The NIA Amendment Act of 2019 broadened the agency's remit to include offences such as human trafficking, counterfeit currency or banknote offences, manufacture or sale of prohibited arms, cyber terrorism, and certain explosives offences. Practically, this means the NIA can now step into a wider set of crimes that have national or transnational impact. But here comes the contentious part that UPS sinners must understand. Under the amendment, the central government can direct the NIA to investigate offences that affect the interest of India, a phrase that is not clearly defined in the law. This vagueness raises important constitutional questions about federalism and the balance of power between the centre and the states. Remember the Constitution's 7th schedule. Maintenance of public order and police is generally a state subject, while national security is a union subject, and criminal law is on the concurrent list. The expansion of NIA powers therefore invites debate on federal balance, the scope of central investigation, and safeguards against misuse. Another concern is the inclusion of Section 66F of the Information Technology Act as a scheduled offence, labelled cyber terrorism. Despite India lacking a comprehensive data protection law and a clear statutory definition of cyber terrorism, that creates practical problems for investigators and legal ambiguity in prosecutions. For your UPSC preparation, what should you highlight in answers and mains essays? Emphasize the legitimate need for a specialized central agency to handle complex, cross-border terror and organized crime, while also discussing constitutional safeguards and the need for clear legal definitions and oversight. Note that questions on NIA commonly appear in GS Paper 2 under Governance and Polity and in GS Paper 3 under Internal Security, often asking you to weigh advantages and challenges of centralized investigation powers. In answers, balance operational benefits like expertise and coordination against federal concerns and civil liberties issues, and suggest reforms such as clearer definitions, parliamentary oversight, and better data protection laws. Quick recap before we close. The NIA was formed in 2008 to investigate scheduled offences threatening national security. It conducts independent probes assigned by the Centre, and trials go before special courts. The 2019 amendment expands the NIA scope to trafficking, counterfeit currency, arms, cyber terrorism, and explosives, but raises federalism and legal clarity issues, especially around terms like affecting the interest of India. Keep this structure in your mind for answers: origin, mandate, jurisdiction, recent changes, and constitutional issues, and you will score clearer, better structured responses in mains. And remember the small but powerful trick most aspirants miss. Always link NIA's operational role to constitutional checks and rights when discussing its expansion. You're doing well by drilling these connections, and a quick revision of a case or two where the NIA has acted will strengthen your answers further. If you want a concise one-page note, practice questions and mock answers keyed to GS Paper 2 and 3, EduRev has targeted material to help you revise fast and test your application. Keep revising, keep practicing, and use EduRev for structured notes and time tests to convert clarity into marks. Good luck and see you in the next lesson where we break down a landmark NIA case and its exam implications.